All church members.
And everyone else.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Joseph.
And this is A Couple on the Mic.
To our first podcast. We are going to be kind of just introducing ourselves and getting into the swing of things with this one. Hopefully, as we proceed, we'll get into some little deeper topics that are relative to us.
Okay.
Especially considering, we're an interracial gay couple in the South.
Don't be too specific. Thank you.
I mean, So, yeah, like I said, I'm Joseph. I was born and raised in Northeast Florida, in between Palaca and Green Cove for most of my life. Then I went to school, became a surgical tech, decided to move to Duval, and ended up buying my townhome here. And about a year later is when I met this one.
Hey, how you doing?
Now I'm a realtor full time, and then kind of dibble dabble in some other little things. I'm about to be working as a simulation coordinator at FSCJ, running sims for new LPNs and RNs to get them graduated and working in the industry. But if you want to buy a house or sell a house, reach out.
In Florida.
In Florida. I'm licensed only in the state of Florida, and the brokerage that I work with now, pretty much I have access to most of the state. So anywhere in Florida, reach out, help the LGBT community out. LGBTQI, whatever letters are. Whatever. I'm gay. I've been gay for a while. It's LGBT. Not that I'm hating on the new ones, but how many more letters can we add? And that's my life experiences. So, I was born a man. I am a man. I love men. That's all I can say. I love women too, but just not in the same way.
Thank you for that story. I'm Dennis, born and raised in Folkestone, Georgia. Moved out of Folkestone back in 2015, and I've been in Jacksonville, Florida for the past almost 10 years. Wow. So I'm a Floridian.
Reborn.
Yeah. Right now I'm working at a contractor company. Pretty much I help customers find contractors using their insurance, like State Farm, Nationwide, et cetera. I've been doing events, but I'm kind of taking a break from it, from my schedule not being as open as it was when I first started. Yeah.
What do you like most about your job?
Working from home is so hard. People out there, I know how you feel when it comes down to finding a job where you can work from home. It took me so long, but I finally found one where I can work from home, save money, live better. Hashtag, say it with me, y'all. Walmart. But yeah, that's what I love the most about.
So I feel like it's a love-hate though.
Yeah, I'm a people person, so it's kind of like going to work, I'm home. Off work, I'm home. What's next?
I come home and it's, what are we going to do? We should go somewhere. We should go to Walmart. We should go Five Below. We should go somewhere. We just need to go get out of the house. And then I'm like, I just want to stay in the house because I've been out all day. So it is definitely trying to manage our relationship with this change because this happened in December. So we've been a good month of, or basically
almost
month and a half, 6 weeks of you working completely from home. I guess the first few weeks wasn't much different because you were adjusting to it. But over the past couple of weeks, I've definitely noticed the antsy, like, I need to get out the house. Let's go do something.
I really thought that I wasn't gonna be that way, but now I understand how much of a people person I am.
Walk around the neighborhood.
I've been here for about almost 100 years. I've seen these people already.
Well, the people person part is you walk around and talk to people. And I can sort of get like his hesitation with making conversations because sometimes you'll be trapped for good 45 minutes talking about nothing.
Yeah.
But you know you like the one. She always has tasks for you. Who lives by the pool.
Oh. If you're watching this, he's not talking about you.
She doesn't even have Facebook. I don't think she'll be on a podcast. Just saying.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So I definitely get, the desire to get out the house and do things.
I hope
So
so.
I do try to accommodate at least some of the time. Because again, I'm the opposite. I'm out the house all day. And to be honest, even when I was working from home all the time, I'm more like I'm okay being in the house. Like I don't have to be out and about. Uh, maybe every once in a while on the weekend, a day or something like that, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Not every day during the week.
Yeah.
Where I get grouchy.
A lot of people been asking us, what's the reason for the podcast? So I pretty much tell them it's not only for the LGBTQ CDEFGHIJK plus, but it's for everybody. Mainly for them, for the gay peeps, but in specific, is that even specific? Anyways, to be specific, interracial gay couple.
Which I mean, yes, that's what we are, and we probably can give the most representation to. But honestly, I don't feel like a lot of relationships are too different. I mean, what are the main topics in every relationship? Finances,
Yeah.
intimacy.
Someone, I'm not gonna say a name. She know who she is because she's watching it. She was like, "What's so different about gay relationships and straight relationships?" And I'm like,
Well, first off, have you ever been in a straight relationship? Let's break it down.
"I have." That's not where I was going.
Can I please hear more about this straight relationship?
Um, I oh, this is while I was in school.
Oh yeah, that don't count. That don't count. I'm talking about as an adult. Have you been in a straight relationship?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I have
Okay.
in my early 20s. And it's the same. I mean, it's the same fights. It's the same highs. It's the same lows. All of that. It's not because every relationship goes through the same challenges. I feel like. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. Whatever. I feel like people that have it on the up and up are the thruples because that's three incomes in one household.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always going to be the probably number one fight for anyone, right? Is
Right.
finances.
Mm-hmm.
In our time together, there's been some lows that boiled down to finances.
True.
So most of the time, if those were in place and we weren't struggling with that aspect of things, or however it played out or whatever was happening, we probably wouldn't have been arguing. We would have been fine and doing what we probably did anyways. Because just like on our honeymoon, there was financial issues that came up the very first day that if I would have known about, I probably wouldn't have booked this trip. Do I regret the trip? No, we still had a blast. We still did what we went to do. It was still everything we wanted, but we probably wouldn't have done it at that moment in our life if I was aware of some of the financial issues that were occurring at that time.
Yeah.
So, you know, finance is probably always going to be the number one argument.
Number one.
I can probably say that without a doubt that's everyone's number one issue in relationships. Second is, probably what what do you feel like is another issue that couples have?
Oh, communication.
There we go. Communication. Um,
For us, it's on and off. It's on and off. That's what anybody though.
but what makes you feel that way? Because I feel like I over communicate.
So when you're given information and you're like, oh, it's not whatever the conversation was, oh, it's not that serious. I'll just tell them whenever. And then when you finally tell that person last minute, then they're like, well, why you didn't tell me this sooner? And then in the back of your head, you're like, I didn't think it was really that serious. But people think,
Things are serious, whatever they feel like they're serious about. I feel like what you just said is probably my biggest qualm with your communication, because a lot of the times those things that you don't take serious and tell me are normally dates and times when things are supposed to happen. So that's probably why they might feel a little bit more important to me, because it's the schedule of life that I don't never know when something is happening until the
I
last
get that.
minute,
True. True.
which is why your mom now communicates with me with things as far as schedules.
Hey, mom.
And I would probably recommend all of Dennis's friends, if you want us to participate in something, let me know so that it can be on my calendar, so that I know when and what's happening.
Moving on.
Don't
So
get mad about it. I mean, I'm just saying that's probably our weakest link when it comes to communication, to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, again, I probably, because for one, I'm a storyteller. For two, I'm social, so I talk to people all the time. I have friends all over the country because, again, I traveled. So when I hear things or whatever, like, I'm not gonna run and tell him every detail of a conversation, but the important stuff, like, one of my good Judy's being pregnant, you know, yeah, I will tell him. Her first baby it's exciting news. She was in our wedding. So, you know, yeah, I'm gonna come tell him that. But am I gonna tell him, oh, they're shopping for a bassinet? No, like, that's she wants a secondhand one or a secondhand crib. She wants to
Nothing wrong with that though.
find one because, she has sort of the same style aesthetic as me, where she likes to reuse and repurpose stuff. Um, that's not something he wants to know about. But the fact that she's pregnant,
I
yeah.
would love to know.
Um, me trying to plan a trip to go see her prior to her popping out the baby, that's something I'm going to communicate. Um,
What you just did. Good job.
but I mean, I haven't really started planning that.
Yeah.
It's trying to balance that. Um, Now, for him on the flip side, he would already have planned the trip and then not tell me the dates.
And surprising.
Yeah, that's not a good surprise.
I mean, some people put in the comments.
Do you like a surprise trip or do you like to be able to plan ahead?
I mean, that is for your birthday. Or
I mean, for a birthday, okay, cool, but you know, I don't know. Like, I like to be able to plan ahead. That way, I know what to expect. Especially like now that I actually do have kind of a job where I have to punch a clock every day. Like, I need a little bit of a heads up as to when something's happening.
mm. So here's a picture of us on our wedding day. It's beautiful picture, I know. So we got married at the library downtown Jacksonville on 11/11/22. 11 plus 11 is 22.
22.
What a date.
Uh-huh. What a venue. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
I definitely, for the price, you cannot beat it. Um, it was a very magical night. Not
Yes,
just
it
because it
was.
was our wedding, but because it was our wedding. The
I was,
Casamigos made it even more
oh,
magical.
yeah.
It's gorgeous. They have the terrace top over the second floor. Um, it was definitely a whirlwind of a night because it's hard to keep up with everything that happened that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good night. And we did everything. If you look at our pictures, we did all the decor ourselves.
Yes. From the two backdrops, from the bouquets, from
And we actually did wood flowers instead of real flowers.
yes.
And a lot of people liked it because, real flowers, you either have to dry them or throw them away. And these flowers, we had over 1,000, and we made bouquets. So all of our bridesmaids or our groomsmaids still just as pretty today as they were
The day of.
the day of.
I would like to give a shout out to Grinder. Because if it wasn't for Grinder, I would have never met Joseph.
This 20th century dating,
21st century?
21st, 20 something, 20,
Close enough.
2017.
We know.
Yeah, 2018 actually, when we met first time.
I can remember it like it was a couple of years ago.
Right, because you really don't have the best memory. It seems like you forgot how it all happened.
Okay, the reason why he said this comment that he just said, I have epilepsy.
Oh, that really the reason? Because I just think you try to fudge the truth.
Epilepsy.
Silence.
Epilepsy.
So yeah, we met on Grinder. He was here. So at that point, you had just got out of a relationship
3-year relationship.
and you were staying with your friend up in Arlington.
Yeah, I moved in with her.
Came to stay at your mom's house that's over by where when she was staying by me. And that's where we met on Grinder. And then, that was just a fun little day. I didn't think much of it as far as it being anything more than what it was. And then
Mhm.
a couple days later, you were back at your friend's house. So I came up there and then we hung out.
Okay.
And then a few days after that, you're back at your mom's house. So we went on our first little date to Mojo's
Mojo's,
barbecue
and that's where we catered for
for
our
our wedding.
wedding.
That was like our first real date.
Went down memory lane, took everybody with us.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Um, and then I was on bed rest after that because that's when my foot was giving me troubles, and I had to go on bed rest for a couple weeks. And when you stopped messaging me, and then I posted that my surgery was scheduled, and then you commented something about what surgery, and I said my foot. You're like, oh, I thought you were playing.
Skip, and then I am with you now.
A year later is when we got back.
Almost a year, eh?
It was just
Okay, it was
about.
like a couple of weeks before.
It was a year later. We ended up back. That's when we actually got together officially, and then we've never been apart since. He spent like one night at his mama house. That was the night before Thanksgiving, so he could help cook. He don't cook. He was just there.
I cook now.
He was trying to learn how to cook, but really not. His mama wouldn't let him.
I
He was
cook now.
cleaning.
Yeah, that's true.
He was doing dishes. That's what he was there for. Shawnell, I know you could comment and say yes. So yeah, I come from a family where I have a very blended family, which we can get into some of the other topics that I really want to talk about later on a different podcast or a different episode later.
On my side of the family, my mom, I have two sisters. That's your girls. And then on my dad's side, I have four sisters and three brothers. And I love every single last one of you guys if you're watching this.
Expanded.
Okay. So
Come on. And just on time, this is our son, Louis. And he's mad because we're not playing with him right now. So he's been whining at my feet. So we both have, family dynamics that might not be the most common. I basically have three families, because I'm the only child at my dad's house, and I have my dad and my stepmom, and I absolutely love my stepmom to death. She's always been a bonus mom to me. Um, I'm the only child there. They're probably the most opposite from myself, but we can talk about that in a different episode. And then we do a lot of stuff at Dennis's grandma's house because she has a huge yard and the space for everybody filled.
with the Christmas tree in the
Don't judge my grandma.
backyard.
Shut up.
And
Leave
she
my grandma alone.
decorates
Leave
it
my grandma
every
alone.
holiday.
Leave my grandma alone.
If your grandmother or any relative does this, please comment or take a picture and send it to us. And
Leave her Christmas tree alone. I love it. That and the reindeers. She leaves her metal reindeers up all year long too. Love it.
And surprisingly, they're still white and they're not rusted.
I'm sure Uncle BJ's painted them a couple times over the years.
Okay.
That's probably been a task. You just aren't aware of it. So yeah. Anything else you want to tell them?
What to look forward to in our podcast. We are gonna have special guests. Some podcasts we're gonna have a couple of rappers. Okay. I'm gonna get them.
Some candy wrappers? What?
You'll see. And we're gonna have different perspectives with our family and friends on crazy topics.
So shoot us some topics,
Mm-hmm.
things that you want to hear about. I have tons of stories, life experiences, growing up in a very, very small country town. Um, one of the topics that I want to delve into is definitely going to be racism and how I've been affected or what I've tried to do to change perceptions. Because, it's been a little more difficult. I'm 10, 11 years older than Dennis. So even being gay and out in a small town was a lot more difficult, I feel like, for me than it probably was for you.
Mm-hmm.
Even with that decade in between. Um, I got jumped in high school. So and I wasn't even out then.
I never got in a fight,
So
and I'm
yeah,
28.
well, I mean, I just beat that ass anyways.
Yep. So
Um, so yeah, I mean, I want to delve a little bit into that, especially because, like I was talking about my family, you know, it took how many 4 years before you actually met my dad?
um, I don't think so.
I mean, we were basically it was right before our 1 year anniversary of being married. So we were already married for a while before my dad was willing to meet Dennis. So coming from that type of background, for me is a lot different. For him, his family has been more accepting than I ever expected. Basically, I there hasn't been a time where I haven't felt welcome into anyone's house. 'Cause he met my
Yeah,
stepmom before we got married.
yeah, way before.
We actually stayed at Universal in a penthouse with her and went to Halloween Horror Nights.
That was fun. I'm very excited for the future with our podcast. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be real good.
Yeah, because we can also talk about where is your favorite place we visited together. Not right
Ooh.
now. We can talk about that. That's an episode or a topic for next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, I want to get someone. I want to get our mom
at the same time,
at the same time.
that's gonna be hard. First off, it's gonna be chaotic
Taking shot.
because our moms really match energies with each other.
I think that'd be fun.
So I don't know if it's a good idea to have them at the same time because I don't know if we'll be able to have them sit down to actually interview long enough together
It'll be good.
because they're going to be wanting to turn up and twerk and yell and drink.
That's gonna be fun. I just want to get their perspective on how they felt when we told them about us being gay.
I like that
Yeah,
because I mean, my coming out story is probably a little bit different than yours.
yeah.
So
I mean, the way my mom found out was like not how I wanted it
I
to
don't think
go.
it's ever how anybody wants it to go.
I actually tried to tell her, but that it didn't work out. We'll talk about that.
Oh, I tried to tell my granny, and my granny would she wouldn't let me. She knew she wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me tell her, and I tried on multiple occasions, and she basically shushed it. It was like I don't want to hear it
Yeah,
because I feel like if it was never said, she could never. It was never true for her, which I do regret to some extent. But she was definitely from a different generation. My granny passed in 2018, and she was 80. about to be 81. So,
Yeah.
you know, with her, it was kind of hard to even broach the topic.
Yeah.
So it's weird how people react to things. So I like that idea of having our moms come on. Maybe even our siblings.
Oh, definitely the siblings. Get their business out there and also get their perspective on things.
Get our business out there. Because my middle sister do hair, and your middle sister
Oh
sell
my,
hair.
sell hair, and one she does hair. Well, she does braid hair, whatever. Yeah, my family loves hair. Apparently.
Well, you know.
So we are going to be doing podcasting 2 times out of the month, just to see how it goes. And then if it's popping like popcorn, we're gonna see how it goes if we do it weekly. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm gonna put question mark. Anyways, uh yeah. Is there anything you want to tell them before we end the podcast?
I don't think so. I think, you know, again, if y'all have any ideas or questions or things you would like to know about our experiences, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be a gay experience. It can be whatever experience. Like, how did y'all do something? You know, whatever it is, let us know. Give us more topics to talk about. And we have a list of things that we want to discuss. And, you know, maybe enlighten our followers on how, you know, it's been for us.
Yeah,
But could never not have enough topics.
that's true. I agree.
Other than that, I think, you know, really, not licking that. He wants to talk too. He's jealous. He's like, what is happening? Y'all are sitting in these chairs and y'all never sit in these chairs.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, again, I'm Dennis.
I'm Joseph.
And this is a wrap. Couple on the mic.
Here's the job.